Guys, thanks for coming out here today. We were talking about it. We were hoping that you guys showed up and brought your A game today. The last few years, you know, it hasn't been the case, and so bring it on, because we've been really practicing hard. We're pretty sharp and ready for the day. Over the 10 years now, I've talked a lot. We've gone through pretty much every facet of the game. And we have also mentioned over the years that swinging a golf club, there are a million ways to swing a club. You've got guys like Jim Furyk and Adam Scott. Totally different golf swings, but as long as you can return the face to impact, you can strike it extremely solid. A million ways to swing the golf club. One of the best ball strikers we have on tour is Charley. Charley strikes it better than anybody. One of the great things that he does in his game is he's able to eliminate half the golf course. And probably 90% of the time he's trying to eliminate the left side. So you'll see him aim down the left side and let the ball drift back. He has a very penetrating ball flight, and the way he does it is unique. It's interesting to hear. So I wanted him to do the demonstration today and talk to you about some of the things that he does that might be able to help your game as well. And if you have any questions for Charley and I'll be right here.
Thank you, Phil. I think this is about my, thank you guys. Well, it's nice finally to be able to say something. I've been here about 5 years. So I'm going to try to give you some good instruction this year what you should do about ball striking. It's been nice. It's always fun for me to even listen to Phil talk. I mean, it's rare you get Phil one-on-one in a situation like this, and get to learn little tidbits about the game. But I'll go through some of my theories, which aren't, I wouldn't say theory, just sort of just what I do. Like he said, there's a million ways to swing a golf club, and I try to keep it simple. My idea, I was taught you build your golf swing from the ground up. Putting stroke, swing, so on and so forth. So I believe you need to have a really good setup. So I was taught at a young age that if someone's running at you, you don't stand there like this. You sort of get in an athletic position. In turn, when you're about to hit the ball, try to hit the ball 300 yards, you want to get in a good athletic position. You want to feel the ground, because you want to use the ground to be able to hit the golf ball. So that being said, usually I warm up before I start a clinic, but I really haven't done anything. So we'll see how this starts. So first and foremost, good solid setup. So like if someone's charging at you, you want to be like a football player, you want to be in a good athletic, you want to feel the ground in your feet. So you're ready for the contact, just like as if you're hitting the golf ball. So I'm going to get in a real good athletic spot. Good weight, just about 50-50 on each one. And then I try to get my momentum going back. Stay pretty centered. You don't want any of this going on or any of this way. You stay pretty grounded with your feet flexed, so you feel your, I guess you feel the ground in your feet is my most important thing. So you get in there and you chuck the heck out of it. Every one of us. Warming up is a key. But it wouldn't have felt as good if you weren't as solid through the ground. No.
So when you meant use the ground to hit the ball, what exactly?
Not hit the ground. Use the So you try to get in this back foot, and almost this is more driver than iron. You want to use this ground to force, and jump's not the right word because you don't want to get airborne, but you want to go through the ground, through the ball. My key in my swing when I'm swinging good is I have momentum going toward the target. When I get bad is I get sort of like this, and then I get momentum going away from the target, which is a drop back, usually a hold on and block for me. So my key is to make sure I get fully loaded back here, pretty stable, and then I can go through the golf ball and through the golf shot. I think you see a lot of amateurs get over here, take a big old swing, and then all of a sudden they're over on this side, and they got nowhere to go because you can't go forward anymore, and you have to go backwards. So my key, I call it loaded. By no means do I want you swaying off the golf ball or going this way at all. You want to stay centered, but have good weight transition to this back right foot. So we'll try this again. See if we can do this. There we go.
Yeah.
In turn, I think the swing key, that I like and visually that I think who does it the best on tour and one of the best ball strikers, and Phil plays him a lot and I play, Dustin Johnson. Now you got to be a freak athlete to do this, but Dustin Johnson stays in his golf shot so long, it's really hard not to make good solid contact. Where you get in trouble is when your pelvis lifts up, something like this. But if you watch Dustin Johnson hit golf balls, he stays in down through this golf shot as long as you possibly can. Now, most people's bodies can't do that, but if you can have that visual of what you want to do, try to stay in that golf shot as long as you can through it, and your contact's going to be a lot more solid. You don't have as much moving parts up and down. You see guys that struggle with ball striking, I mean, I'm going to use Tiger's name that in the recent years, you see how much his head's going up and down all over the place. It's hard to hit solid contact every time if your head's going everywhere in which direction. So I think the key is get real stable right here and keep that head there and chest down and let everything sort of rotate. Now, like Phil was saying, I like to hit a cut. And for me, the sensation I get to hit a cut is to stay down through it and rotate the chest, which is somewhat complicated, but that's the feeling I like. The visual on that is like an Annika Sorenstam used to do back when she was playing some of her best golf. You saw her and just sort of rotate through there like that. Is what I try to do with my longer irons and driver. So I'm going to get a little bit longer iron, and I'm almost feeling like I'm releasing the chest here and the head a little bit. Now obviously you don't want to be coming up and out of the shot. That's why I gave you the analogy of Dustin Johnson. You want to stay down, but you can still stay down and release the chest. So the longer you can stay in that shot, the more opportunity you are going to hit crisper, more solid golf shots day in and day out, I think. But the main thing is you're going to have to be pretty flexible to be able to stay in that shot. The more flexible you are, the longer you can stay in your golf shot. So if your body doesn't allow you to do that, you're going to have to sort of manipulate in certain situations.
So before you move on, let me just add something to that. When you hear him talk about rotate, when he's taught, when you look at his posture, his back is straight. And from that position, his shoulders can rotate around the axis of his spine. But when you set up hunched over, your shoulders start rotating up and down, your head starts moving, and you're not rotating around the axis of your spine. As you start to tilt, it throws the swing plane off, makes it go up and down. So if you look at his posture, it's a straight back as he's bent over, and he's able to rotate around his spine, and that's why he's able to make solid contact so easily and repeatable, just like he's talking about Dustin Johnson and those guys. So a lot of it too is in the setup. If you don't set up right, if you start hunching over, you're not able to rotate around the axis of your spine. Your shoulders will start working up and down, and your head then will start tilting. Same thing in putting. You can go back to such a small stroke in putting. When you get hunched over, your shoulders start rotating up and down rather than around, and it starts changing the axis of the swing plane. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And the way to add to that, a way to stay in your posture is back to that athletic position is activate your glutes, or I mean your abs. So if you activate your abs, all of a sudden your body goes into a good posture. So almost like if someone's going to punch you in the abs, you're going to be almost like activate them. Like if you get over the ball and like imagine someone hitting you, you're going to tense up. So if you're in there like that, now all of a sudden your body's in that position. Now you're going to eventually let that go when you fire through. But for your backswing, if you can have that feeling of your abs being activated, you know you're going to be in a pretty good posture situation because your abs are holding everything together.